All right. We are live. And give me just a second. Oh, there we go. Excuse me. Wow. way to start off a live with confidence and a big healthy sneeze. All right. Now we can begin. So, Lady Oceanside, what's up? Happy Friday, guys. I'm Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist, your favorite PR and visibility strategist, coming at you from my HQ in Hillcrest, the big red building above Inside Out Restaurant, where I run Garcia Global Media and Shift Life Design and Warrior Strategist Consulting LLC. Today's going to be interesting. We have a couple things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. We published a new book. For those of you guys that don't know, Garcia Global Media actually will publish books for clients. If you get a certain client package, we've written something like 15 books, several for other people. It's not something I talk about often, believe it or not, but I wrote my first fiction book about a year and a half ago with Kate Monroe, who was a congressional candidate, and pretty good-sized book, The Body Man, but that one went really, really well. And today I'll be talking about a different book and actually reading some of it to you. All right. Before we get started, as always, Rob the Warrior Strategist content is brought to you by Shift Magazine, shiftlifedesign.com. If you want to go read an issue for free, Shift Magazine brings you all the greatest stories about entrepreneurship and veteran-owned businesses and stuff about San Diego. This is the newest issue. It's the fashion issue. And we also talked about sdnetworkingevents.com with James Hickey, which is a regular feature. I've had Shift for about 10 years, and we bring you amazing stories like Brian Big Country Conwell and Marshall Terran, who runs a great Facebook group called Vetpreneur Tribe. But check out Shift. I have all kinds of stuff to help you to get the life of your dreams. It's a lot of fun to have a magazine. It's a lot of work, but I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys for supporting it. Once again, shiftlifedesign.com if you want to read it for free. All right. So I started off today well. As you guys know, I've been exercising and dieting this week and been a little more serious about it. I had ChatGPT make me a plan. I've been going off of caloric deficit. So a lot of sauerkraut, a lot of cucumber, a lot more running than I've done in a long time. And I'm doing this for a couple reasons. To start with, I want my clothes to fit better. Let's just be honest. You put on enough muscle, you become a bigger person, and your suits start getting real tight, or the buttons won't close. It's kind of embarrassing. Also, I have an Air Force PT test coming up at the end of October, and it'll be fine. But it's easier if I show up lighter. That's the bottom line. You always will run faster if you're lighter. That's it. Everyone's like, oh, it's an Air Force PT test. It can't be that hard. The people that say that shit are not the ones doing it. So I'd like to see a lot of my critics get their fat ass out in the track, run a mile and a half as fast as you can after doing 47 push-ups in a minute and 47 sit-ups in a minute. It would be hilarious, just to be honest. And it's always, I'm going to go off on a tangent, but it makes me laugh because the people that criticize the Air Force the most are always the Desert Storm era vets that have like beer guts and like a giant lipper of Red Man and chain smoking at the same time. The people that criticize you are kind of always pieces of shit. It always makes me laugh. So yeah, keep talking shit about the Air Force. I ran 48 fucking minutes today, and I'm doing what I need to. So yeah. I'm going to be shooting some content on that whole phenomenon at a different time for sure. But anyway, yeah, I'm down 4 pounds this week. I ran 48 minutes today, and I've been on a caloric deficit for a couple days now and just kind of adjusting to it. And last night, I abso-fucking-lutely cheated on my diet. Proudly. I had a gin and tonic. Let's see, I had some kind of gin drink. I had 2 absinthe drinks and a charcuterie board at Wormwood in San Diego, and it was fucking amazing, not gonna lie. Okay, let's get to some content. Otherwise, I'm going to bore you guys with my lack of a social life. Okay, so the big announcement for today is the release of a book by Garcia Global Media Publishing. This was a project we'd had going in the hopper for a long time, and we needed to finalize some details. The book itself is called From Boots to Business, A Blue-Collar Guide to Business, and it's by Michael Renigan. This is him and his lovely wife, Rochelle. And we recently gave Mike and Rochelle a business award, Faith-Based Business Leadership Award, at the Service and Sacrifice Gala in San Diego last Saturday. And Mike and Rochelle actually came to San Diego from Texas and flew out and hung out with me and had a steak dinner. And it was awesome meeting them. We're really proud to get this book out because Mike's story is wild. And even if you're not a veteran, there's so much you can bring from this book, because I'll give you the Cliff's Notes and then I'm going to read you some of it. But basically, Mike came from a very rough upbringing. He had a bunch of brothers. His family was not, wealthy. He moved a lot in his childhood, and he was involved in a lot of partying and just didn't have a lot of structure. And he met Rochelle in high school. The story of how they met is freaking crazy. And they've been together since. They have a couple of children. They have a multiple 7-figure business. Rochelle is a successful realtor. And this book encapsulates how to create your dream life, even when you're going through a lot of struggles. If you want to pick this book up, you can get it off lulu.com. Just type in lulu.com, Mike Renigan, From Boots to Business. I haven't done a full PR push yet, so it's not going to be as searchable, but it is on lulu.com, L-U-L-U. I promise you this is an amazing book. I'm going to go through the features here in a minute. But this book talks about basically how Mike became a Navy hospital corpsman, went to Iraq and Afghanistan, saw action, and then came back and found his faith, beat alcoholism, and kept his marriage going, even after a lot of struggle, a lot of, they lived in a garage at one point, and they moved all over California, and they were just trying to survive as a young family with a kid. Their children all turned out amazing. And it's just an incredible story. I've known Mike for a while, a couple of years. And when Mike came to me and he said, "Hey man, let's write a book," I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure." Mike's interesting because he founded Doc's Roofing in Texas, multiple 7-figure company, but he's a really, really smart business guy instinctively. And that's why I wanted to tell the story. And I wanted to, for lack of a better phrase, pick his brain and find out, how do you handle turmoil? How do you handle chaos? How do you, keep it inventive and fun and passionate and creative with your wife? How do you guys become each other's best friends and then keep that level of intensity and love, And Rochelle gave a lot of good inputs on this too. And they talked about a lot of the things that they had to solve together as a couple. So this really is a couple's book. It's not just a military book. It's a couple's book. It's about keeping a relationship passionate. And as you go through this, it not only just talks about their different challenges, but there's an entire chapter on fitness, staying healthy with a blue-collar job. It's got some recipes, believe it or not. What's up, Susie, sister? Good to see you. Finance and money mindset. And then the best part is just a 30-day journal with affirmations. And you've got self-discovery questions. You've got reflection questions, and you can write in it if you want to. And every day is a different thing. So it's faith, family, fitness, fellowship, finance, and then it repeats with different information and categories. And then the bio at the end. But this is a really good all-encompassing book for life improvement, but also will show you hey, these people really went through it. These people went through so many challenges and came out ahead, and they live in damn near a castle in Texas. They've got a bunch of properties. They're doing really well, but they're good people as well. They do a lot for the community. They donate to charity. They make sure they're taking care of people around them. Just the level at which that they give and give back just blows my mind, which is why I was really proud to publish this book. Yeah, Moon Eyes for sure. Can you show the cover? So it's From Boots to Business, a blue collar guide to business. And if you go on the Lulu website, LULU, you type in the title From Boots to Business, or you type in Michael Rannigan, it'll pop up and you can buy it. I think it's like $17.99 or something. But I promise this is an intense, gripping read. I'm going to read you like a preview of it. It's got some intro. Okay. This is the intro. Spring 2003, Tikrit, Iraq. We had the high ground. We were scanning the riverbanks when the Iraq Republican Guard showed up. These were the elite of the Iraqi army, better trained, better equipment, and originally designated to be a presidential protection detail. They were highly motivated, better paid, and weren't huge fans of America. They started opening up with mortar rounds near our position. We were now clear to engage, and boy, did the Marines light them the fuck up. We took no casualties as we returned fire with 25 Mike rounds. 25 millimeter rounds are used for penetrating armor and light tanks. They have tracer, anti-armor, and high explosive variants. They are used by Harrier jets and F-35 Lightnings. They get the job done. That night, I learned what the phrase pink mist meant as we decimated their position. We called in air support and carpet bombed the section they were occupying. It was better than any 4th of July I had ever seen. Apparently, the Secretary of the Navy and the Secretary of Defense were in the area, and the higher-ups wanted to give them a show. I was 19 years old. It would take decades to process what I witnessed. I would endure nightmares, addiction, alcoholism, PTSD, and nearly lose everything. I'm Mike Doc Rannigan. This is my story. So that's just the intro. And then he's got a section where he just talks about the book. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just like a piece of it. I'm Mike Rannigan. In my life, I've been to war, married my best friend, created an amazing family, and founded a multi-7-figure business that is continually growing. On the surface, it seems like everything just fell into place, and I have a life most people would envy. If only that were true. In this book, I'll be sharing the philosophies and principles I developed to make this life possible. I'll also be sharing the struggles and challenges that made me a better husband, father, and businessman. If you're in a place where you aren't satisfied with life, I hope these following chapters can provide you with guidance. I truly believe that a rising tide lifts all ships, and my every intention is to see you waking up excited to start your day and pushing yourself to change the world. Pretty impressive. This will not be some feel-good, every day is perfect BS. I'll be helping you keep your bearing and course when life is throwing challenges your way. All right. So anyway, that is Mike's intro. And then it gets into his childhood, which is wild. I had a challenging childhood, to say the least, and Mike and I have compared notes. His was challenging in like a different way, but both of us went through some stuff. I'm just gonna read you one sentence. 5th through 8th grade was an interesting time. 2 sentences. We moved to Kaufman, Texas, and by 8th grade, my brothers and I were all on probation. The town sent him a letter encouraging them to move. So anyway, that's literally the first couple pages of this book. But also Rochelle, Mike's wife, gives a lot of good life advice. She talks about her perspective of this whole thing and basically what it's like as a military spouse, just trying to keep the family together, trying to make things work as your spouse is out deployed to a combat zone. And then he comes back and you guys are fighting and you have to figure stuff out. You're going through like all these challenges. You guys will really like it. I feel like there's something for everybody here. If you're a military spouse, you'll recognize a lot of the terms and the experiences. if you're a military veteran, you'll recognize the struggle that veterans go through when they have to, deploy and come back. And sometimes you see combat. And if you're just a civilian and you need something to pick you up and to be inspired by, this is a great life improvement book from someone who's done incredible things and has become very, very successful in North Texas. Fun fact about Mike is that I actually got him on Roofing Elements magazine, because his company Doc's Roofing is so prolific in the industry, and they did a big old feature on him, and I was really proud of that. Mike has been the cover of Shift magazine. I'm not sure if I have a copy here with Mike, but I do. Yeah. What was this? 2023. So this is 2 years ago. This is Mike Brannigan. This is the author. But yeah, we popped him on the cover of Shift magazine. We talked about his story. Yeah, one of the most prolific guys I ever met. Just an interesting dude that is really into family business and enjoying life with his wife, Rochelle. And I was really happy to get to meet them. They're hilarious in person, and they're just really good people. So, all right. That's about all I got. I want to thank everybody for checking it out. The book is From Boots to Business by Michael Brannigan. You can get it on the Lulu website, lulu.com. And for Facebook, I'll pop the link in the comments, and LinkedIn. But I highly recommend you guys check this book out. If you need an inspirational story, you need something to pick you up, or if you're a combat vet and you want to see how someone goes to Iraq and Afghanistan and sees a lot of crazy things and then comes home and, just attempts to get back into American life. I'm really proud to have published this for Mike. I want to thank Mike and Rochelle and Doc's Roofing. This is one of my favorite projects I've ever worked on, and I'm saying that from a really honest place. I'm excited to get this out there and to release coverage on it, and to maybe get Mike on TV for it. But check it out. Boots to Business. There's a lot in here for you. Thanks, guys. All right. So that is all I got for today. Just wanted to thank everybody. And if you have a book in your brain and you need help publishing, I do have book publishing packages. I've published 15 books, some for me, some for clients. We can talk about rates. But I also have PR packages that can go with it. I can get your book featured in Shift magazine, issue press releases, push for TV interviews, all kinds of stuff. Just reach out, message me if you're interested. Being an author is pretty awesome, not going to lie. And I'm a lot faster, and I cost a lot less than the average publishing houses out there. Drop me a message if you're interested, if you ever want to write a book. And if you can't afford the full publishing process, it's a couple $1,000s. But if you can't afford the full publishing process, but you do want to write a book and you just need some help, I can do a do with you for about $1,000, and I can show you the entire I literally have a book on speed publishing, and I can do that for about $1,000 and work with you and help you get your book out. All right. That's all I got for now, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this broadcast from Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist. And as always, stay famous.